Look at your hand. Right now, in 2026, the cells in your palm are different than they were just 5 years ago. They are under siege. We've reached the tipping point. For the first time in history, the biological operating system of the average human is no longer self-correcting. It's crashing. The statistic you aren't being told is this: 93% of the population is metabolically brittle. We aren't just getting sick, we are losing the ability to process energy. We've moved past simple obesity or heart disease. We are now in the era of systemic interference. Your body was designed to be a high-performance engine, tuned over millions of years to thrive on scarcity and movement. But in 2026, we've drowned that engine in a cocktail of synthetic emulsifiers, blue light-induced hormonal chaos, and stealth additives that your DNA literally does not recognize. Your human OS is throwing error codes. That brain fog, that's an error code. The stubborn midsection inflammation, error code. Exhausted after 8 hours of sleep? That is your mitochondria, the power plants of your cells, screaming for a reboot. Most healthy eating advice is propaganda. We aren't talking about losing 10 pounds. We are talking about biological survival. I'm going to hand you the Human OS Manual. We're going to identify the 3 invisible killers. We will find the fuels that repair your DNA and the protocol to turn your body from a storage unit into a furnace. Stick with me, because in 10 minutes, I'm going to reveal the Survive Protocol, the only way to ensure your hardware doesn't fail before the decade is out. The greatest threat to your health isn't what you know is bad for you. It's not the donut. It's not the deep-fried burger. It's the stealth interference hidden in foods marketed as clean. Your body is a chemical processing plant. For 2 million years, the inputs were simple: water, fiber, protein, fat. But now, the food industry has moved into molecular mimicry. We need to talk about the 3 horsemen of metabolic collapse. First on the list, the emulsifiers. They're in your organic almond milk. They're in your low-fat dressings. Think of your gut lining like a fortress wall. These chemicals act like biological dish soap. They dissolve the mucus layer that protects your intestinal lining. When that wall is breached, toxic bacteria leak into your bloodstream. This is endotoxemia. Your immune system freaks out. You aren't fat. You are inflamed. You are under internal biological siege. Next, we have to address nanofillers. To keep costs down in 2026, they use fillers that bypass the blood-brain barrier. Your liver has no software to break them down. It's like throwing sand into a Swiss watch. You are essentially eating high-tech sawdust. Now, the seed oil oxidation bomb. The concentration of linoleic acid has reached a lethal threshold. These fats don't just sit on your hips. They are incorporated into your cell membranes. Your cells are now made of unstable armor. The moment you are exposed to stress, those fats peroxidize. They literally rust inside your body. They cause your mitochondria to shut down. You've been told to avoid saturated fat. That is wrong. It's the unstable oils that are clogging the gears of your human OS. No amount of gym time will save you. You are trying to run a Ferrari on swamp water. But identifying the enemy is only half the battle. You need to trigger a molecular rebuild. I'm going to give you the functional fuel list, the specific code to rewrite your epigenetics. It's time to turn your metabolism back online. If Chapter 2 was about the viruses, Chapter 3 is the System Restore. Stop looking at food as calories. That is a 19th century metric. In 2026, food is information. Every time you swallow, you are sending instructions to your cells, health and longevity, or disease and decay. You need high-signal foods, chemical triggers to reboot your mitochondria. First, ruminant proteins, specifically from grass-fed beef or lamb. Think of your mitochondria as tiny furnaces. Most people's furnaces are cold. They lack the shovels to move the fuel. Carnitine is that shovel. You are upgrading your internal power grid. Next, the DNA shield. We need hormetic stress, specifically cruciferous sprouts. They contain sulforaphane. It hits the refresh button on your cellular detox system. Then, wild berries, deep pigments, anthocyanins. These mop up the oxidative stress from 24/7 blue light exposure. Finally, the epigenetic master. You need choline, found in pastured egg yolks. It acts as a biological editor to delete the error codes in your DNA. I want to hear from you. Look in your pantry right now. What health food do you now suspect is actually an anti-nutrient? Drop it in the comments below. I am helping you audit your kitchen. But the right fuel is only half the battle. If the exhaust is clogged, the car won't run. Next, we reveal the survival mechanism, how to force your body to eat its own damaged cells. This is the secret to biological youth. You've removed the toxins. You've uploaded the functional fuel. But there is a third stage, the human OS update. We call it metabolic flexibility, or the self-cleaning oven. Most people are sugar burners. They eat every 3 hours, or their energy crashes. Their brain fogs. They've lost the password to their own vault of stored energy. To survive 2026, you must flip the metabolic switch. First, autophagy, from the Greek, self-eating. Your body identifies zombie proteins and misfolded DNA. It breaks them down into raw materials. Think of it as software defragmentation. If you eat from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m., you never run this cleanup script. You are just piling trash until the whole system stalls. The goal isn't to be keto forever. It's to be bi-fuel. We are hybrids. We burn carbs for bursts and ketones for focus. Ketones produce BDNF, Miracle Grow for your brain. It's the only way to keep your hardware competitive. Here is the secret. Your body does not get stronger when things are easy. It gets stronger when it is challenged. This is hormesis, hunger, cold, and intense movement. These are required inputs. They are the submit buttons for your DNA. If you eat processed snacks every 2 hours, your human OS begins to power down. It shuts off your immune defense. You aren't resting, you are rotting. I am giving you the 24-hour schedule, the non-negotiables for 8 a.m., 2 p.m., and 8 p.m. Hit the subscribe button. Join the 7% who refuse to let their health crash. It's time to get tactical. Theory is useless without execution. You know the enemies, you know the fuel. But in 2026, timing is everything. Your body runs on a 24-hour clock. If you get the timing wrong, you are uploading software while the computer shuts down. 8 a.m., the anchor phase. Most people wake up and grab their phones. That is a system error. You need the sun dump. Get natural light into your eyes immediately. It sets the timer for melatonin 16 hours later. Next, the caffeine delay. Do not touch coffee for 90 minutes. Let your brain clear itself naturally, unless you want that 2 p.m. crash. 2 p.m., the metabolic pivot. This is where 90% of people fail. They eat a high-carb lunch, and their brain goes offline. Use the protein-first rule. Eat the ruminant proteins from Chapter 3. Keep your insulin low. Stay in the fat-burning zone. After you eat, walk for 10 minutes. This isn't for cardio. It's a biological hack. It pulls glucose out of your blood and keeps your storage mode turned off. 8 p.m., the system shut down. In 2026, our nights are too bright. Use the 3-hour fast gate. Stop eating 3 hours before bed. If you are digesting, you aren't repairing. At 8 p.m., trigger the digital sunset. Switch your devices to redshift mode. Mimic the campfire light of your ancestors. Signal the brain that the hunt is over. Finally, use the thermal trigger. A hot shower followed by a cool room. The drop in core temperature is the trigger for deep sleep. This protocol isn't about being perfect. It's about being consistent. Follow this just 80% of the time, and you will be light years ahead. You are no longer floating. You have a biological anchor. We've covered a lot of ground. We've identified the stealth additives. We've used epigenetic fuel to rewrite our future, and we've mastered the circadian timing. But here is the final cold truth. In 2026, your health is your only currency. You can have the best AI tools and the most diverse portfolio, but if your hardware fails, you cannot run the software of your life. Let's do the rapid-fire summary. 1. Purge the interference. Stop the gut breach before it starts. 2. Upload the code. Feed your mitochondria. Shield your DNA. 3. Trigger the cleanup. Let your body recycle its own zombie cells. 4. Sync the rhythm. Respect the digital sunset. The one metric that matters? Don't look at the scale. Look at your heart rate variability. Can you go 6 hours without food while maintaining razor-sharp focus? If yes, your human OS is optimized. You are now a resilient, bi-fuel biological machine. Knowledge without action is just mental entertainment. Pick one non-negotiable, just one. Commit to it for the next 7 days. Whether it's the sun dump or the fast before bed, start there. Next, watch our deep dive on the vagus nerve pinch. Tech neck is strangling your nervous system. Click that video now to continue your hardware upgrade. Your biology is your responsibility. Stay optimized.